everyone. I hope you all are doing good. And आप सब लोगों ने अशोका द ग्रेट बुक रीड भी किया होगा. I would like to give a short introduction about Ashoka. Ashoka is called the Great Ashoka, and he ruled from 268 BCE to 232 BCE. He is also he is known as the Great Ashoka because he ruled almost all the Asia. It is believed that he was born into the Maurya dynasty, one of the most powerful dynasties in ancient India. His father was Emperor Bindusara, and his grandfather was Chandragupta Maurya, the founder of the Maurya Empire. Uh, he is believed to have had multiple wives, but his chief queen was Devi. Some historical accounts suggest that he had several sons and daughters, although the most prominent among his children were his son Mahinda and daughter Sangamitra, who played crucial role in spreading Buddhism to Sri Lanka. Overall, Ashoka's family played significant role in both his personal life and his reign as emperor, contributing to the legacy of the Maurya dynasty and the spread of Buddhism in ancient India and beyond. So this was his introduction. I would like to call here if people want to talk about Ashoka and if they have read the book which I had given. Anita ma'am is here. Raman sir is here. Who would like to talk about Ashoka first? You can raise your hand.
Well, Archana, I must confess that
Mhm.
I have written only bits of that book. I
Okay.
couldn't read the
Yeah, you
whole book,
can
a
talk
few
about if
chapters.
you know anything, something new
Yes,
about
like you mentioned, Sanghamitra. It's not Mitta, it is Sanghamitra.
Sangamitra.
Actually,
Yeah, I have also.
yeah.
So actually, it is Sangamitra. I used to call Sangamitra, but when I read the book, when not this book, in other books it is written Sangamitra and not
No, no, no,
Mahindra.
no, no.
It is
It's Mitra
Mahinda.
only.
Yeah,
It's Mitra because Europeans are writing these books, na? So
yeah,
they
yeah.
are not able to pronounce it properly. Because I
Okay.
know because my elder sister's name is Sangamitra. So
Mm-hmm.
during childhood, I used to ask my father the meaning of
Meaning
the
of
name, how it
yeah,
came
yeah.
about. So he
Mm-hmm.
used to tell me the story of how Ashoka sent his
Ashoka.
two children to Sri Lanka to spread Buddhism. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I know about little bit about Mahinda and Sangamitra, but not
Sangamitra.
much. But after
Okay.
reading this book, after reading a few chapters of this book, I came
Mhm.
to know a little few things which I didn't know before.
Okay.
Like, I didn't know that Ashoka had killed 99 of his stepbrothers for
Yes.
the throne of Magad. That I didn't know. They
Yeah.
were in all. They were the sons of Bindusar, the son of Chandragupta Maurya, and
Yeah.
Bindusar had 101 sons. Ashoka was one of them, and 99 he killed just for the throne of Magad,
Throne of Magadha.
except
Yeah.
his own brother. I'm not remembering the name of his own brother.
Mm-hmm.
He after winning the throne, he made his own brother his deputy. But rest 99 of his brothers
Their
from different
brothers he
mothers,
killed.
of course,
Yeah.
not from the same mother, from different mothers. He had killed all of them. So this I didn't know.
He was
And
in this book. It is written like his. They have shown his cruel side.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Like he was called Kanda Ashoka something,
Yeah.
angry Ashoka. And then we mostly know about the nice side of Ashoka.
Yeah.
When he became a Buddhist, we mostly know about that. But before that, we I came to know a little bit from reading this book only.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting to note that after killing his brothers and many of his enemies, he was ruling over Magad uncrowned. He was not crowned
Round.
king.
Yeah.
For
He was not.
4 years, he was not crowned as a king, but he kept on reigning. Only after that, he was crowned as the king of Magad. And a very interesting thing I came to know after crowning, third year or maybe fourth year, he
Mm-hmm.
said that he will be building 86,000 temples or maybe Buddhist stupas.
84,000 temples. He. Yes.
84,000, some
Yeah.
huge figure.
Stupas. Yeah.
And he managed to construct all these within 3 years.
Yeah. He was
That's a
very
huge
powerful.
number.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So
What
that
is special?
impressed me a lot.
What is special about that number? Don't you feel it's a bit odd that
I
somebody
don't
should
know.
choose 84,000, not 1 lakh or 50,000 or 75,000 or
Ah,
108,000, but
uh-huh.
84,000 and pledging to build 84,000 temples?
Yeah.
Some
Yeah. So
Somewhere
what
it is
was the
written
significance?
84, somewhere it is written like
84,
that.
86, like that
frankly,
only.
I would admit I have not read the book still. I have been busy somewhere.
Okay.
I didn't
Okay.
find the time
So,
for it. What I thought was, I'll come to this meet, get opinion from all our friends here about the
Mhm.
book, and then if it is, well, it's a worthwhile, I'll go, because apart from this person killing 99 of his brothers and
Mhm.
cousins, and spreading the empire, and his son Mahinda and Sangamitra, we
Mhm.
know all that, Kalinga. But in addition to that, if there is anything so far unknown, if it is highlighted, I just wanted to pick up some information from this meeting today, and then go back to the book.
so another input, I'm having one more chapter I had read, Raman sir, from this book. And it is always, we are always lambasting the Britishers for all the ills of this country. But after reading a few chapters, I came to realize that they did many good things also, like research work. Many in the 1820s and 1830s, many young men from Britain had come to this subcontinent to study about Buddhism, to study about Hinduism, and they had written so many papers and many things, many much of the research work was done at that time. I read about this Prinsep person, James Prinsep or something, some sort of some Prinsep. There is a place in Calcutta also after his name, Prinsep Ghat, and some Prinsep things are there. So I didn't know about this person. Only after reading a chapter from this book, I came to know what a grand work, research work he had done on Buddhism. He stayed in India. He came to India as a 20-year-old, I think, from Britain. And
Okay.
he spent 40 years, maybe not 40, I think maybe 20, 25 years in India. And he did extensive study on Buddhism, including Tibetan Buddhism. And he had sent his people to Kathmandu to study the rise of Buddhism in Nepal and Tibet and Ladakh region also. He had sent people, like these are all young men in their early 20s. They had come to India. The weather, the climate of India did not suit them, so one or two of them were sent to Kathmandu, to the hills, for a better climate, and to Ladakh to study Buddhism. And they made great research work on Buddhism. Like Tibetan Buddhism, I don't remember everything that I read, whatever I can recall. I mean, these people, these young men from Britain, they did a great research work. I mean, like Raman sir said, we mostly know about Sangamitra, Mahinda, Ceylon, how
Mhm.
it spread in Ceylon, and how Bindusar and this Gupta, we all know about the dynasty thing.
Maurya
But
dynasty.
this Britishers, young men from Britain coming to this subcontinent and doing such extensive research work on Buddhism, this is really great. I read somewhere in this book, in this chapter only, that
Mhm.
Kathmandu, if you go and visit, I have been to Kathmandu. Now I realized that when I went to Pashupatinath temple and all the temples around Kathmandu and Patan, on those big towns of Nepal,
Mhm.
what we think as Hindu temples, it is written in this book that they are not just Hindu temples, they have the influence of Buddhism also. I don't remember seeing them, but it is written in this book that most of them are Buddhist temples with images of Hindu deities and also of Buddhist culture all mixed together. But most of them were Buddhist temples, but we think of them as Hindu temples since Nepal is considered the only Hindu kingdom in the whole world. But Buddhism was there. Ah, so the temples are a mix of Hindu and Buddhism. So this is a new thing. I didn't know. I have been to Kathmandu. I saw all the temples. The temple structure I had found them a little different from what temples we have in India, but it never struck me that it was the influence of Buddhist culture there. So this young man who was placed in Kathmandu, he was under house arrest of the then Raja who was reigning over Nepal. He was not allowed to mix with the local crowd. And but what he did, he made friends with the local people. Although he was under house arrest, he never came out. He could not come out of the house. He used these local people to do research work on behalf of him. And he gathered immense material on Buddhism, rise of Buddhism in Nepal, in India, in Tibet, and he used to send these papers to Calcutta Asiatic Society. That time, though, Delhi was not in the picture. Calcutta was the capital. So, mostly very important things used to happen in Calcutta only. So, he
But
used to
what
send
about
these papers.
what about Ashoka? He is
Ashoka.
the hero of the
Ashoka
story.
only. This is all related with Ashoka only. Because Ashoka is the figure who started this whole Buddhism thing, who made it so popular. Buddhism was there before Ashoka also, but he was the person who spread it all across the Jambudvipa. Jambudvipa means what we had a larger India, not the India what we see in the maps today. It included Afghanistan also, Kabul also. Kabul, this Afghanistan had a great influence of Buddhism before Islamization took place.
Yeah,
We
and
had those,
they
you remember
demolished
those
those,
desecration
yeah,
of the Bamiyan temples,
yeah,
Bamiyan
I
murtis. During the Taliban, they destroyed all those Bamiyan things.
statue.
So, Buddhism was there in Afghanistan before Islam took over. So, these people, these youngsters, made extensive research work on the spread of Buddhism. Shakyamuni came, I think, centuries before Ashoka. Shakyamuni, जो Buddhism के main माना जाता है, but Ashoka was the person who spread it to Ceylon, to Tibet, to Afghanistan, to Indonesia, to all these whole of Jambudvipa. So that is how it is related with Ashoka in some way or the other. I have not gone through the whole book, Raman sir, so I can't comment on the whole book. I
Not
have just
opened
read
about
a few
this.
chapters only.
So you are far better than me. But anyway, I would like. Are you implying that Buddhism existed even before Gautama Buddha? Sakya Muni was before his time. Is
Shakyamuni
that
was
what you are
much
saying?
before Ashoka, much before Ashoka. I think maybe two,
Ashoka,
three
before
centuries
Ashoka.
before Ashoka. Maybe
So,
2, 3
what
centuries before
about,
Ashoka.
so Buddhism is still the work of Gautama Buddha, right?
हाँ वो मैंने पूरा पढ़ा नहीं है. I have to go through the whole book to get the whole picture correctly. I have just read a few chapters, Raman sir. So what I could gather, I'm just sharing. But I was, Raman sir, I'm really impressed with the research work done by these Britisher youngsters. They have done a huge work. They had gone to
No, nothing.
Zanskar
Say
in Ladakh.
nothing. As they say in philosophy, nothing is totally good and nothing is totally bad. So
Mm.
even I remember Pakistan Prime Minister Bhutto. I was speaking in United Nations. It is we, the Muslims, who taught you culture. You fellows were something like that in that line. We brought civilization to India. And Britishers can say we brought technology, research, and scientific Korean to all that. And there is yet another parallel story running that it is a Rig Veda and the Yajurveda, so many things, astronomy, astrology, mathematics, this, that. You see, this war is not going to end. It will go on, go on, go on forever. Anyway, the focus is on Ashoka. And Ashoka, apart from slaughtering cousins, waging Kalinga war, sending his children to Ceylon for Sri Lanka Buddhism, spread of Buddhism, and planting so many stupas containing the teachings of Buddha. Is there anything else we get from the book? Can somebody clarify?
I
It
don't
is,
know.
I have also not read the whole book. I couldn't get time.
So we
But
belong to the same club.
yeah, I I just joined because I wanted to know something new from you guys.
What
So,
of
you know, the
others?
Tibetan script,
Mhm.
whatever is written in the Buddhist scriptures
Pali
in
language,
Tibet,
yeah. Yeah.
it is derived from Sanskrit, the Devanagari script. I didn't know that.
Pali language is totally different. It is, I mean, when I searched on Google, so Google says that it is uh, very old language, older than Sanskrit.
Which one?
Pali? Is it
Yeah,
Pali?
yeah, it is
Pali.
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 Pali is the
Pali.
name of the
Yeah.
language.
Pali is the
That is the
language.
language
Yes.
of Gautam Buddha, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Pali.
In
So
those
See,
everything
eras,
is
people
written.
used
even
to
I
speak
see
Pali
there,
language.
there are so many
Yeah.
interesting sides. There
Mhm.
was one short story which I read. Somebody invents a machine
Machine.
which can tune in any speech delivered in any situation at whatever point of time. So the whole world decides to tune
Mhm.
into the Sermon on the Mount by Jesus Christ. And the people, Catholics, Protestants, you know what, they all are assembled and they are all going to see which side Jesus Christ is going to speak about and all that. And when the sound did come through, it was in Hebrew, nobody understood anything.
Hebrew language. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we think Jesus spoke that English, which you read
Mhm.
in Old Testament,
Hmm.
thou shalt not kill, and
Yes, yes.
Old English, as we know it. It is not so. Jesus didn't know English, nor Sanskrit, naturally. So these things are
But
there, always.
German language is also from this grammar is also from Sanskrit only. I think Hungarian is also from Sanskrit. So many of the European languages is derived from Sanskrit only.
Yes, sir. We once said, somebody in my class stood up and said, Malayalam is an offshoot of Tamil. We had one friend, Sudhakaran, who was highly offended by this remark. Have you studied Sahitya Charitaram by some Pillai? He mentioned the name of author. And he has proven that it is Tamil which came from Malayalam. Reverse.
Tamil came from Malayalam.
That is his view.
Oh, okay. I don't think so.
So,
I don't think
so
so.
these kind of disputes will go on. German
Yeah.
Sanskrit learn.
And
See, Pitru,
I think the root of Sanskrit is Pali, maybe. Root of
oh,
Sanskrit maybe is Pali. I don't know.
maybe
I'm not very sure about it.
they say Sanskrit is the language of the
God's
gods,
language.
and
Yeah.
so it is the
Got
first language that should come on earth.
Hmm.
See, this Chauvinism, there is no end to this. There is no
Yeah,
point
this
in discussing it
conversation.
here.
Debates, yeah, I know, I know,
Yeah.
I know, I know.
Pitru is equal to father.
Hmm.
Matru is mother, and all that.
Yeah. Shobha ma'am.
Anything new on Ashoka apart from what we have covered?
Uh,
Can somebody say
Yes,
uh,
ma'am.
something?
Good evening to all.
Good evening, ma'am.
Actually, this is the first time I'm joining it. I have not been able to join this session,
Mhm.
these sessions, any of these sessions. I'm actually a history student. I have been a history student. I have done my post graduation, but that was in modern history, composite history, like the history of the Far East, US, and उसमें से भी बहुत कम ही याद है मुझे, honestly speaking.
Mhm. आपको
और
जो भी
Ashoka
याद
the
है बोल
Great,
सकते हैं.
Ashoka the Great, whatever you said, Archana, initially as
Mhm.
introduction, I
Yeah.
think that is by far the most we know about him. That he got a
I just
change
gave
of
the
heart.
basic
That
information
is
which
what
I
all of us, yeah.
have learned.
Sorry, not all of us, but at least I. I
Mhm.
don't know much more than that. I have not been able to read the book also that you have
Mhm.
sent. I'll read it, but I'll read it. Uh, so I know that he used the Brahmi script. जो उनके शिलालेख हैं जो भी है वो सब ब्राह्मी स्क्रिप्ट में हुए हैं और जैसे अनीता जी ने कहा you told about that British scholar who came the historian. What was his name?
Prinsep something.
There were quite a few.
yeah,
One
Prinsep.
of them is Prinsep, James Prinsep.
He was the one who deciphered the Brahmi script.
Yes,
He was the
yes,
one
right.
who deciphered the Brahmi script. I remember because my elder sister used to study ancient history. I've seen her write that. They had been taught to write that script.
Mhm.
So I remember some of that. So apart from that he got a change of heart during the Kalinga War, and he just changed overnight after that war, and how he worked towards spreading this new Dhamma called Dhamma.
Dhamma.
And he really did um, a lot of work in that direction. That's how we see so many countries having, Buddhist system of worship. So more than that, I really do not know much. But I intend to read this book.
This
I very much
universities
intend to
also,
read this.
Nalanda University.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
One
He's
more
a big
thing surprised me. One more little bit of thing surprised me about Ashoka. When he had sent his son and daughter to Ceylon, to Sri Lanka, for spreading Buddhism, the then king of Ceylon, I'm forgotten his name. It's a very long name, so I'm not I'm just forgetting his name. It seems he had somehow pressurized these two children of Ashoka to bring some relics from India to be taken to Ceylon, to Anuradhapura or some such place. Okay. So this Mahinda comes. Mahinda doesn't come. He sends his sister's son, Sanghamitra's son, back to India to meet Ashoka and request for these relics to be taken to Ceylon. So this Sanghamitra's son is named some Sumana or something. I'm very bad with names. Whatever I remember, I'm taking. So this Sumana comes and meets Ashoka, asking him for some relics. So he has specifically asked for a branch of this Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya. Okay, Bodhi tree is in Bodh Gaya, everybody knows.
Yeah, yeah.
So that king had specifically asked a cutting of that tree, which this Ashoka was not at all agreeable to it. He didn't want to, he was thinking how to give, but he had to give because since the king is requesting and his two children are there to spread Buddhism, so he was under pressure. So with a very heavy heart, he somehow cut a branch of this Bodhi tree. It's in the book, it's called Bo tree. So I am just assuming that Bo tree is Bodhi tree only. So somehow he cuts a branch and he takes it to a place in Bengal uh, on on a vessel, I think maybe a ship or something on the Ganges to be taken to Bengal, and from there Bengal he had to be it was airlifted. That is what surprised me. It reached Ceylon at that time. It is mentioned in the book. It went by air,
How
not
can
on the
that be?
sea.
No.
But
How
No,
can
it
that
is
be?
written in the book.
There's no
So that
mention
surprised
of
me.
any aircraft.
I
Maybe
don't know. It is
then you have to
specifically
question the
written somewhere.
veracity of the book.
I
I
don't know.
don't know. Then he should have explained how.
Maybe he has explained. I have not read the whole thing, as I said. But this bit surprised me that it went by air. It is specifically written in this Ashoka book. And two more things
I
went.
believe that.
His tooth of Buddha, and one more thing had gone. Three things had gone. A branch cut off from this Bodhi tree, a tooth, and a collarbone of Buddha. This Sumana, the Sanghamitra's
Yes, we
son,
know
had
there is
come.
that
Hmm?
yes,
So
sir.
Siddha Vihara of
these
Anuradha.
three things were carried
Anuradhapura
to
is a
Ceylon.
Buddhist temple for the tooth of Buddha.
Yeah,
It was
there is a
called
tooth
Danta
relic.
Vihara.
There is a tooth temple. I have seen that temple, but this tooth, it is written in this book that it was taken to Anuradhapura. But I have visited some other tooth relic temple in Sri
Yeah.
Lanka, which is not in Anuradhapura. I don't know. There is another tooth relic temple, maybe in Kandy or someplace.
After all, Buddha should have minimum 20 teeth, right?
So maybe the teeth were all distributed all over Ceylon. I don't know. But I have not visited
Exactly.
Anuradhapura. I saw this temple somewhere else in Sri Lanka. Right now, I'm not able to recollect.
Sri Lanka requests for a relic. It is not likely that the 3 teeth will be sent. Only one tooth should go in a golden casket.
I don't know. In this book, it is written it went to Anuradhapura, a collarbone,
It's
a
like this.
tooth, and this branch
Saint
of the
Thomas.
Bodhi tree.
Saint Thomas Bone is in Chennai, you know. Saint Thomas Bone is in Chennai. Saint Thomas Mount Church. It displays a small fragment of bone from Saint Thomas when he was killed from behind, it seems. I was hoping to see some big jawbone or arm bone or leg femur kind of thing, but it was the size of a pea mounted on a mat, saying that this is the bone fragment obtained and held as a holy relic. The bone from Saint Thomas, none less.
But Raman sir, it could have gone by air. No, Pushpak was there. Pushpak was owned by Ceylon people.
I was just
So
thinking about
it
that
is
too,
not
yeah.
improbable.
That was mythology.
No. It is not.
Say,
Pushpak was there.
Don't say that.
Pushpak was
Don't
there.
say that. Ramayana time, Mahabharata time, maybe they speak about Pushpak
Yeah.
Vimana and Indra Vimana. But to Mauryan time, there was no Vimana.
Yeah, but
Otherwise, they would have fought wars in a very different.
But we don't know. There is no proof that there was
Yeah,
no Vimana. How
because-
can we say there was no Vimana?
Definitely, if there was, it was there, it would be mentioned in 20 different classics, not in a single book like this. It will be mentioned in 120 historical facts. So
But
that is
people
not,
say
quite
that
right.
when they burned the Nalanda University, they had that chapter that how to build aeroplane and all. So they had different
No.
types
Yeah,
of-
How to build a plane? Yes.
there is a story. There is a story about this, which there was a senior Sankaracharya of Kanchi Mutt. Is famous. That man was something almost divine, equal to God. Well, he said that there was one Sanskrit classical text which contained the secrets of building such a plane, and King Bhoja knew that, and he has written and recorded, if this is made public, this will be used for most inhuman activities. So I am not disclosing how it is to be built. That is recorded in some Sanskrit text.
Yeah, I had also read somewhere that in those areas they had that technology to build a plane and all. So maybe.
So we cannot simply write off the that.
No.
Yeah, we will have
would
to
have been
find
sent
the-
by air.
No, you are saying the opposite. We cannot believe.
Yeah.
There's no point in writing off is quite easy because it is not documented. That's all. You can say, I can revive dead people. I won't do it because world population will suffer. That doesn't mean I know it.
So that's a research thing
We
for us
will
to
have
do.
to-
We have to read more and find out about it.
Yeah.
Whether air
No.
transport was
If it's a
available during Ashoka's time.
Yeah, air transport, he might have made maybe something else. I will read it just for this.
So I've given you incentive enough to read the book, Raman sir.
Yeah, maybe they have used this air balloon technology. It
I
was
don't
Another
know.
thought comes to mind.
Even
Another
there,
thought
helium and nitrogen were not available.
Yeah.
And Raman sir, it is written in the book very specifically that it took off from some place in Bengal. So from Magad till
There,
Bengal, it was taken by
probably-
Ganges, on the Ganges.
Probably it was said it went by the sea, and the stenographer typed it by air. Would be a
No.
typing mistake.
So many mistakes stenographer cannot make, no, sir.
No,
Because
So have they
with-
given references
I'm
over
only
there?
saying it in a light-hearted way. Don't
Maybe
take it
references
seriously.
were there. I don't remember
Yeah,
reading them.
I will look up. But
Hmm.
there is no mention elsewhere. So that is not to be taken at face value. That's all. If such a thing is there, it would be mentioned in 100 different places. The only thing we know is Pushpak Vimana, which is in Ramayana. Even Mahabharata does not mention Pushpak Vimana travel by air. Only in Ramayana it says
Mahabharata, there
Pushpak
were
Vimana.
only weapons, dangerous weapons over there.
No,
Brahmastra.
the Ramayana
Brahmastra.
during Mahabharata, they used nuclear weapons, na? So
Nuclear
nuclear
weapons,
technology
yeah.
was very much there. Nuclear technology was there. Viman was
coffee-
there.
But coffee was not, and tea was not. You see, this type of exposition that it was nuclear weapon, hydrogen bomb. No, sir, I can't buy it. Simply because it's something glorious. We should not
Believe
become
that, yeah.
too naive to accept whatever is. You see,
True.
Dasarada is supposed to have 60,000 wives. Would you believe that?
No.
But
No,
it is
why
mentioned.
not? Even Krishna
So
had
some-
16,108. Why not?
Right.
Krishna also had
Krishna-
16,108 wives.
Krishna was God, Dasarada was man.
No, nobody
it.
was God.
No.
All were human beings only.
Krishna,
We have
Krishna
made them gods. All were
Krishna
human beings in
Paramatma.
human form only.
Krishna
I beg to
Paramatma.
differ on that. I beg to
You may
differ.
differ, I to differ. I know.
But
I'm not
Krishna,
saying that he is
Krishna
that.
did a lot
But
of chamatkar.
in Mahabharata, it mentioned he made Viswarupa. Arjuna was made to look at that. Blind man, Dhritarashtra was given divine eyes vision to look at this Viswarupa and all that. You have to take it with 2 pinches of salt, not 1.
So we are going in different topics.
We are straying from Ashoka.
Yeah.
We are staying away from Ashoka, yes.
It all became, it is all
We
due to
talk about
Ashoka sending
Ashoka,
things by
yeah.
air. Things by air, Ashoka used air courier and we are swaying from our target.
We will find out
A
this.
thought
I
comes
am
to
also
mind.
curious to know about this airlifting and all.
Yeah,
Airlifting, yes, please.
Yeah, I'll
Next,
also try to
next,
find out. Yeah.
next session, somebody must tell us whether it is true or not.
Yeah, sure.
Especially we have a historian amongst us, Shobha ji.
Is anybody going to tell us whether it is true or not? No.
We will try to find out references.
We can try to find out, sir. We can try to find out.
You will have only your opinion and I will have mine. That's all. It is not a fact finding. It is just.
No, we can find out if it is mentioned in some other book or not.
We
About
will see.
airlifting.
Utpak Viman is the only thing I remember. I don't remember any other mention anywhere else.
Then Raman sir, why this person will write that it was taken to this place in Bengal, all up Ganges,
That we have to ask. I don't know.
to be airlifted from that place in Bengal and not from Magad. It was taken on the Ganges, on a ship via Ganges to this place in Bengal.
You tell me by boat, by ship. Yes, that is possible. That was very much current. Rajaraja Soda went to Java, Sumatra, conquered these regions. It is all historical fact that we can buy. But going by air, there is no documentation in support of that. It should be mentioned in 5 different places. Then you can believe it. Otherwise, it is just perhaps a slip. I don't know. We have to question him. Is it a recent book? Is the author alive?
I don't know, no idea.
When was it published?
Archana will be able to tell.
Which book, ma'am?
This Ashoka book. The
Ashoka
author of
book.
this.
Yeah, author of this book is Alan something.
When was it published? Is the man alive now?
I don't think so. The man is alive or not, because it was written in British era, I think so.
Oh, God.
I'll have to find out.
Anyway, we will. We can make only a Google search.
Yeah.
To see whether it is real, it is true that Buddha relics were transported by air to Sri Lanka. Then you may get feedback. It is fake. That we will do it.
We can Google it also.
Yeah.
And whatever Google says is not gospel
true
truth.
also.
That also.
Yeah, that is also true. That's there.
Because
that also we have to take with a pinch of salt only.
When I asked Google to give me a simple mathematical problem, it asked me what is 2 over 2. So sometimes Google can be as foolish as I ask myself.
Yes. Anybody wants to talk?
Anybody else who has read the book more
Yeah.
than a few chapters, maybe of the book?
Yes, Suresh sir is there, then Santosh Garg ma'am, Rashmi ma'am.
We
I
can
think
offer
Rashmi
a small.
read the whole book.
We can offer a small price if anybody has completed the book.
Yeah. Anybody wants to talk?
Ramesh Nandaji is taking a walk.
No, sir. Making tea.
Very good. Make one more for me too.
Sure. It will be my pleasure. It will be my pleasure.
Come here before it gets cool. It goes cold.
Yes.
Rashmi ma'am, I think you have read all the book, no?
No, I have not. I've told you that it was so boring. I was
My
not
God.
able to.
Okay.
I've got some
It is
guests
not
at my
exactly.
house. I just want to enjoy that. But at least I can get something, some knowledge. For that
Yeah,
reason,
there is plenty of knowledge in this book. It is a heavy reading. It's not boring at all. It is heavy reading, and there is
very heavy. So actually, I was from a Hindi
I will
medium
read
school.
it
It
in the
took
next
lots of
couple of
effort
days.
to.
I will read the book the next couple of days. And I will post it. We can't have one more discussion on Ashoka. So I will just post it in our group.
Yeah, we will just post about this airlifting also if you
And
find
what
out
about
any
the
link.
next book? What
Next
about the
book,
next book?
yeah, next book I'm going to reveal. It is not about history. It is about self-help type. Like, so we are going to talk about this dealing with death, this book.
Oh,
Dealing
And
with
death.
dealing with death.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
like to escape from death.
No,
Nobody can escape from death.
nobody can.
Nor can anybody deal
That's
with
the
death.
ultimate truth.
Satisfaction.
Yeah, it is all about like somebody leaves us, so how to deal with this, grief and all.
You mean afterlife? What
No,
happens
not
to somebody when he
afterlife.
dies?
Nay,
Okay.
family
We
may,
can have a discussion on this afterlife. It
yeah,
should
yeah,
be mighty interesting.
afterlife. Yeah, I'll try to find out some interesting book on this also.
There's a famous book there. I'm not remembering the title of that book. One
Many
Swamiji
masters.
has.
Many masters.
No. After death, one Swamiji from Ramakrishna Mission Order, he had written after death, regarding after death only. क्या नाम था? मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा नाम अभी. It's a very famous book. I'll try to find out and post in the group. It's a very famous book written by the Swamiji. From Ramakrishna Order only. From the Ramakrishna Mission Order. He's a Swamiji from that order. He has written this very famous book dealing with after death.
After death.
I'm not remembering the title right now.
There is also a famous book by some Robert somebody, I forget the original name, about near-death experiences. What people saw who almost died.
Yeah,
and
there are
came
many
back.
such actually. Yeah, many such
Near-death
and you even get to
experience.
see on YouTube.
That book is a mighty interesting book. And there are so many mind readers kind of fellows who make a huge money by talking to the dead people through medium, they have in YouTube, you can find any number of people. Some famous names are there. I generally forget all those names, but I have a relative who is very much current in these things. I will get the names and tell you. And they tell you startling stories, unbelievable, incredible stories about communicating with the dead people, what they say. In Tamil Nadu, we have people who claim I have spoken to Jayalalitha after she died. She told me that I am I am sorry I was rude to you. I didn't mean to be this kind of thing. Then you see, with this setup, you can say anything and get away with it.
Okay, so does anyone wants to talk?
There is a famous book by Jaggi Vasudev also. The name of the book is Death.
I have the book, but it is a paperback edition, and no way of sending it through. If somebody gives me address, I can perhaps courier the book to them, but only one person at a time.
Yeah, I also have the book. Yeah.
This
And
is
I have
very
read
Anita ji,
famous,
can you,
famous book.
I have
Anita ji,
read through the book.
please post that book in the group.
Sorry.
You mentioned about that book now. Some Swamiji has written.
Yes, yes, I'll try to find out the name. I'm not recollecting it. It's a very famous book
Yes,
regarding
me.
after
ma'am.
death only.
Asha ma'am,
have
you
no
want
time
to
to make
say
it.
something?
Excuse me, I have come late, very late.
You have not missed
What
much.
was today's topic?
Today's topic was Ashoka. If you know something about Ashoka, you can talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next time I will come with
Next
my
time, this is
preparation.
the Ashoka session. Okay. Asha ma'am, do you want to talk something about Ashoka?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am. Yeah.
Good evening.
तो अनीता मैम एंड सर ने अभी बहुत कुछ बताया अच्छे से डिटेल में दैट आई हर्ड. तो just on that I will not speak anything. I would like to take exclusive a different thing regarding Ashoka only.
Okay.
Okay.
उन्होंने जो वो सब स्तंभ बनाए after Kalinga war, when he decided he will not be making any more wars, तो बहुत स्तंभ वगैरह इधर उधर बनाए. उसमें से एक है बनारस के पास सारनाथ में अशोक स्तंभ. तो वो अशोक स्तंभ पर जो 3 लायंस है और उसके नीचे एक अशोक चक्र है, उसको बोलते हैं हम.
Yeah.
अशोक चक्र है, उसके बारे में मैं कुछ कहना चाहती हूँ.
चलेगा मैम. Yes.
क्योंकि he was a great emperor, of course. That is why even now the Ashoka Chakra has been taken as national emblem on our flag.
On our flag.
हाँ, वो राष्ट्रीय चिन्ह के रूप में उसको हमारे ध्वज पर रखा गया है उसको. तो उसके बारे में मैं थोड़ा बोलना चाहती हूँ.
Okay.
अशोक चक्र में 24 तिलियां हैं, लाइन्स. 24 lines are there, and each line symbolizes something. The 3 lions, of course, symbolizing bravery and power, courage, all that. There are 4 lions on 4 different directions. और उसके नीचे जो अशोक चक्र है वो नीले रंग का है. उसकी जो 24 तिलियां हैं उसमें 24 गुण हैं. एक एक तिल्ली एक एक गुण को सिंबलाइज करती है. तो मैं वो गुणों के बारे में बताना चाहती हूँ. पहला तिल्ली कहता है संयम. हर इंसान को हमारे देश में संयम से रहना है, जिससे हर देश में शांति बनाकर हम रख सकते हैं. फिर आरोग्य. दूसरी तिल्ली कहती है कि हर किसी को आरोग्यवान रहना चाहिए. तो आज सुबह तो हम लोगों ने योग के बारे में समझ ही लिया उसका इम्पोर्टेंस. हर इंसान अगर आरोग्य रहेगा तो वो देश भी समृद्ध रहेगा. उसके बाद अगली तिल्ली है शांति. इस तरह से बहुत सारे जो गुण है मैं उसको झटझट बोल देती हूँ. त्याग, शीलता, सेवा, क्षमा, प्रेम, मैत्री, बंधुत्व, संगठन, कल्याण, समृद्धि. ये सारे गुण को हमको फॉलो करते रहना चाहिए. ये अगर हर इंसान फॉलो करता रहेगा तो नेचुरली देश भी हमारा समृद्ध होगा. उद्योग में उद्योग धंधों पर ध्यान देना है, इंडस्ट्रीज को बढ़ाना है, ये सब. सुरक्षा, देश की सुरक्षा पर ध्यान रखना है. नियम, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, दैट इज समता, सम में समानता. कोई भी चीज को हमको ऊंचा नीचा नहीं सोचना है, इस तरह का. अर्थ, दैट इज धन, अर्थव्यवस्था की ओर ध्यान देना है. नीति, न्याय, सहकार्य, कर्तव्य, निष्ठा, अधिकार, बुद्धिमत्ता, ये सारी चीजें बताई गई हैं उस चक्र में कि इन सबका अगर हम व्यवस्थित रूप से पालन करते हैं तो वो देश कभी भी पीछे नहीं जा सकता है, हमेशा वो प्रगति की ओर ही अग्रसर रहेगा। ये उस चक्र के तिलियों का मतलब है।
Is it written on the pillar itself? This list, is it appearing in the pillar itself? All
Sir,
these 24
Meaning of
qualities,
all these 24
qualities.
yeah.
Are they written listed in the pillar?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
नहीं लिखा है, लेकिन एडिक्ट्स वगैरह जो उनके रहते हैं ना वो उस पे कहीं कहीं पर मेंशन है। अब वो उतना ऊंचा है वो स्तंभ, उस पर लिखा भी कहीं होगा तो हम उसको वो दिखता नहीं है।
नहीं, it is
No.
not written on the pillar. Nothing is
No,
written.
I don't know whether it is the clever work of somebody listing 24 good qualities simply because there are 24 the radial spokes
That,
to the wheel,
what does
or
it
is it something written by Ashoka himself? That is what I
No.
want.
तो ये छोटी सी चीज है, लेकिन ये भी एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है। और उसके आजू बाजू में एक तरफ वो बुल है, दूसरी तरफ हॉर्स है। हॉर्स इज अगेन स्पीड, पावर, ऐसा that it is symbolizing, and बुल का भी है कुछ ना, बुल का मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा है क्या है, लेकिन है कुछ।
They eat beef naturally, and it is used for agriculture, definitely. No, that is interpretation. I wanted to know whether these things are listed by Ashoka or this in the pillar itself, so that this is why the bull is there, this is why the horse is there. And I don't know. You only interpret Satyameva Jayate and find out.
At the top where the height was so much, I could not read all. पता नहीं होगा भी उसमें।
No,
Like,
nowadays a
Yeah,
driven
we will,
No,
I will try
these
to
things
find
are not
out.
written on the pillar.
I don't
They are
think
not
it is
written.
But it is easy to find 20, but 20, 24 qualities, we have not come across that number as such. They say 16 kind of good health. They used to say, and 8 kinds of treasures, Ashta Ishwaryam,
कि अगर
and 16 good blessings and all that. 8 plus 16 is 24. Ashta Ishwaryam and 16 good fortune. 16 plus 8, 20. But these are only Samatkar. This is not an authoritative thing. This is what Ashoka wanted to say.
but he had a great vision and he did it, whatever he could do in his life.
What I read in the book, in my history books, was that Ashoka inscribed teachings of Gautama Buddha, that you should do this, you should not do this kind of thing, and these were erected on several parts of his empire so that people can benefit from what Buddha taught.
Yes.
Anybody now? Thank you so much, Asha ma'am. You explained it
I am
well.
thinking that Archana,
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
यदि ये नहीं भी लिखा हुआ है कहीं पर, but what Asha ma'am has
Explained,
pointed
yeah.
out, like what I explained,
Yeah.
there are a lot more to think on that side also, कि पहले लोग सोचते थे, बहुत कुछ सोचते थे, and अपना इंडियन ऑथर भी कोई होगा जिसने लिखा होगा, तो we'll just have to check that also.
Yeah, we will have to find out. That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
I'll try
yeah.
to find out. I'll try to see on the images of Sarnath stupa, that stamba, sorry. And
Does anyone know कि ये स्तूपा जो इतने बनाए गए थे, वो स्तूपा के नीचे अंदर क्या रखे जाते थे? Anybody has any idea?
I'll check it
जैसे
because
pyramids में when they used to keep the pharaohs inside, they used to keep a lot of gold and silver and everything inside. So these stupas also had something inside them. Does anyone have any idea?
No, these stupas were
erected
only to
because I know some
perpetuate
monks.
Buddha's teachings. Beyond that, It is not there.
Coins were kept. Coins and scriptures were kept.
Scriptures.
Because
Scriptures.
many of the stupas were excavated and lots of coins came out, lots of scriptures came out from under these stupas.
Yeah.
They say, I have not seen, they say
Yeah, that is
coins,
understand.
lots of coins.
When we build dams, I was working in electricity board. When we laid the first stone foundation for the dam, our bosses put one small precious stone, one small gold thing, one silver thing. These are all sentiments. These stupas are supposed erected so that they will stand the test of time and they will stand there forever. So they won't put anything under it so that it can be uprooted and examined what is underneath this. If there is anything underneath it, it is only to make the foundation strong. Or something for
Maybe.
sentimental value, like a piece of gold, maybe. Yes.
But lots of stupas were excavated during the British time. They found these coins and scriptures from inside the stupas.
Scriptures were there inside.
What kind
Maybe
of
to
scriptures?
hide them from, I don't know, maybe Islamization was taking place. So
What
maybe
kind-
they wanted to hide the scriptures somewhere, so they
Then,
built these stupas.
The stupas will be giveaway clues. If that is the case, they will know this is where we have put, take note. It's a kind of saying like that.
I think it's mentioned in the book also.
Yes,
That,
maybe scriptures, some scriptures
there,
may be there. Maybe.
Vita ma'am, have you read the book?
No.
Vijaya ma'am?
Yeah, Archana. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm quite late today.
No problem. Yeah, we have time.
You
So
please tell us
lots
about the
of
book.
discussion must have must have
nobody has
discussed.
read the whole
No,
book.
you are the first person to say, yes, I read the book. Please
Yeah.
tell
No,
us
no,
about
no,
the book.
no, Raman sir. I couldn't. Actually, I struggled to read the book. And actually, till 140 page, he has not talked about. He has talked about Alexander invasions and all those things.
Yes,
And
yes.
it couldn't hold my attention, actually, to tell you frankly. And I felt that the topic of the title of the book should have been something else than
Yeah.
only Ashoka. Because I think he has written about Ashoka only for, I think, 80 pages, 75 to 80 pages. That's all. That's how I had a cursory this thing on the book. Actually, I couldn't read it properly because I couldn't find it very interesting or gripping. So that's why I couldn't read it. But whatever little I have read, so one incident which actually which came as a surprise to me, because I read in the history books that Ashoka, there was a total transformation in Ashoka after Kalinga War. But in the book also, and somewhere else also, I read that before Kalinga War only, some incidents has taken place which changed, because of which Ashoka had inclination towards Buddhism. And that was, I believe he killed all his brothers except one.
Yeah.
One brother, I think Tissa or somebody.
His own brother. He left out his own brother.
So he spared him and he killed others. Although there is no, it's not, there is no evidence, I believe. But it is said that he killed everyone. So he killed his elder brother Sushima, who was the actual righteous candidate for the to become the king.
Okay.
But he killed him. He killed him and he captured the throne. Later on, when he was the king and he was attending a court, when he saw a young monk going from there. So that monk was called to the court, and then he speaks with him, and then he comes to know that he is the son of Sushima. That means he is his nephew. So who has become a Buddhist monk. And Ashoka thought that because he killed his father, there will be a negative reaction, retaliation, something like that. But because that monk, Nigroha was his name, so he has become a monk. So he didn't have all those feelings or reactions. He was a cool and composed Buddhist monk. So maybe it was guilt of Ashoka. Then he made this young monk sit on the throne. And I believe he heard his discourses for 2 days. And he heard about the Buddhism and all those things. And then he was already inclined towards Buddhism. And later on, this Kalinga war took place. And then he saw the devastation. It was a huge devastation. And after that, he was a completely changed person. That's why it is said that he changed from Chanda Ashoka to Dhamma Ashoka. That's how the
Yeah, and
transition.
his wife Devi was also she
Ah,
used to believe in
So,
Buddhism. Yeah.
in a
yes.
lighter vein, you can say Ashoka killed his brothers, but he
Mm.
exiled his children.
Mm.
Yes, Vijayji, yes, I also read this story about, but I think it is written in this book that he was initiated into Buddhism by this young boy only.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Because I
Suni
read in the
Gupta or
history
something.
book that after war he was changed. He was a changed
Yeah,
person.
that is what.
But in
No,
this
but
book
this
was
Anyway,
mentioned.
this young
Yes.
boy only initiated him into Buddhism.
Anyway, after initiation by young boy, he fought the Kalinga war. Yeah,
Yes.
sort of contradiction there.
No,
Obviously,
some
say.
inclination was there.
Ah,
And after seeing that devastation, he was a complete changed person. And
see,
I believe
overnight change will
doesn't
not come.
happen.
It will come gradually only.
So,
Maybe
and
the
his,
seed,
and
maybe
the
it
earth,
was seeded inside his mind by this young boy, which took shape maybe after
Yes.
the Kalinga
And
war.
his
and,
wife was also Buddha. She used to believe in Buddhism.
One of
Yes.
the wives was a
Yeah, yeah.
Buddhist. One of his
Yeah.
wives.
Mm.
Yeah, the mother of Sangamita and Mahinda.
She was a Buddhist.
Mm.
Others were not.
But one more wife, I don't know the name, but she was a very cruel and evil person, I believe. So she made his life hell, and he had a very unhappy ending.
She was the attendant of his wife only, the earlier queen, Sangamitra's mother.
Okay,
Devi.
okay.
Yeah.
New queen was the attendant of the earlier queen.
Okay.
So this
the palace
attendant
secret.
was vicious minded.
So the palace, what do you call it? Palace secrets.
So it is written in the book that this new queen, she
You
got
see,
very envious
right.
of
I have a doubt here. It is so easily said Ashoka killed 99 of his brothers. Okay. Now I have 99 brothers whom I want to kill. Will they kill them openly so that it is documented and written by historians? I would ask about the killing will happen through a third party or by poisoning as a very acute, very subtle poisoning. How come he openly killed 99 and then he was himself spared? Sort of incredibility.
It is said, but there is no evidence, I believe.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
So those days, even if there was evidence, who did anything? Like Aurangzeb did so much. Aurangzeb, he killed so many people. So who could do anything? He was reigning over India. So who could
Somebody
do
should be
anything?
capable of killing him. It's only 99 against 1, may know. 4% to be killed. There should be enough killers in the country. It is not as though Ashoka went with his sword.
Kings were doing everything for the throne. They resorted to everything, all measures, just to reach the throne.
I would like to tell a joke here. When Lenin-Stalin regime came to an end, and Nikita Khrushchev and Bulganin came to power, Khrushchev was giving a lecture about the atrocities of Lenin and Stalin. And then somebody from the audience shouted, "Why you have not protested against these atrocities?" And it was, of course, an anonymous shout. And Nikita Khrushchev said, "Will the person who asked this question stand up?" Well, nobody dared to stand up. Now you understand why I kept quiet.
So, anyone wants to talk about Ashoka?
Archana keeps
Huh?
reminding us the topic is Ashoka.
Yeah,
Not,
I have
not
to do
Ashoka.
that. So,
And we hardly have anything to discuss about Ashoka.
yeah, I think I shouldn't have given this topic or this book.
No, the book is
No, no,
good.
No,
not
I will
like
read
that.
the
Heavy
book.
read actually.
I will read the book. I didn't have the time.
Book is
Please
good. It is
read
not bad.
Raman sir.
You
I
can
was busy
you can
otherwise.
post
I will
to-
definitely, having
Mhm.
received the book as a gesture of generosity, you see, I have the obligation to read it. I will definitely read it.
Raman sir,
And-
we need some input in the next session about that airlifting thing.
yeah.
What
We
is
will
the
try to
Airlifting
find out,
of
but
relief.
I can
What
assure you that there is no mention about air
Hmm.
travel. They generally say only refer to Pushpak Viman, saying
What
that
is it?
Rama and Sita came from Sri Lanka to Ayodhya in Pushpak Viman, which was provided by Indra, not made by anybody. It was sent from Indra Lok to Sri Lanka after the war, and it was such a thing that it will expand to the number of passengers. It was the capacity to expand. Rama, Sita, Hanuman, X, Y, and Z, Angada, what have you. They all got into it and came to Ayodhya for the coronation. That is what it. That is the only thing we read about air travel in our. It is Ramayana. It's not history. It is mythology. So
Right.
anybody you can write about whatever the imaginative person can write about anything. And Ramayana and Mahabharata are supposed to be written by hundreds of people, each person contributing a segment in course of time. You see, even in today, the stories about great people, take Satya Sai Baba or Kanchi Swami or Ambedkar or Jawaharlal Nehru, what have you. The people go on adding incident after incident. This happened to me, this happened to me. This is like that, and slowly the history keeps expanding. That is the human imagination, that the human nature. So Ramayana mentions Purpak Viman. I don't know, and I think there is one classic in Tamil literature. I think it is Kundalakesya or Salapagalam, where also it is mentioned that there is an aircraft. He made an aircraft, devised an aircraft, and people traveled in it. It is a passing reference. It is not mentioned in any other poems in Tamil literature. It is only in one classic. They call it, I don't know. I think they called it the peacock machine or something like that, and it was used to transport people. That is just a casual mention. That is not to be taken seriously. And the other is Pushpak Viman. We will try to find out if there is any other mention.
What is this about?
Yeah.
Vijayji, did you come across this incident where it is written that the relics were sent by Samrat Ashok to Ceylon by airlifting? The cut-off branch from the Bodhi tree and the collarbone. Did you come across this?
Which he was not actually ready for, but he sent it.
He sent it
But,
by air, it is written.
No, I think by sea.
No.
By
It is
sea
specific.
is okay.
No. You
No?
read it again. It is specifically written not by sea.
Okay.
Not by sea, not by land, but by air. It is very
Okay.
specifically written there, which got
And
me
then-
surprised actually. So I read it again. That sentence I repeated.
Okay.
It is very specifically written not by land, not by sea, but by air.
If he writes like this, then he should have included a few lines about the aircraft that was carried, how it was made, who made it, how many were there, are they used for military purposes. This will also be relevant there, you know.
Maybe it is, but I have not read the whole book, so I'm
but,
not in a position to comment.
I'll recheck that. But
yes,
he
yes.
does a paschatap for that because he was.
airplane like sculptures found on Indian temples. Some people say that, and it is there on internet. So I have found that article.
Cell phone sculptures are there, aeroplanes are there.
Yeah, cell phone,
high
laptop.
heel shoes are there, even bicycles are there.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of guns.
And those temples are thousands of years old. So,
But perhaps these sculptures are not.
Suresh Nanda, sir, you wanted to say something? Yeah.
Can you hear me, Archana?
Yes, sir.
I just sorry. First of all, I'm sorry I haven't read the book.
You are
And
the
secondly,
majority, sir. You are in the majority. Don't worry.
thank you, sir. Thank you. Then, second thing, the late O.P. Radhan from Bombay film industry, he wanted to make a magnum opus of Samrat Ashoka. They were researching this and that, but the film couldn't be materialized. It was 20 to 30 years back. Then O.P. Radhan passed away. Then second, about Ashoka, it was fought near Bhubaneswar. From Bhubaneswar to Puri, there is a place called River Daya. Near Daya River, the famous, or not famous, I will not say, the notorious war, Kalinga, was fought way back in 261 BC. Currently, they have a Buddhist monastery near Bhubaneswar. It is called Dhauli in the hilltop. That's all I know about Ashoka. Dholagiri, yes, absolutely right.
Dholagiri.
Dholagiri.
Kandagiri and Dholagiri.
Khandagiri is in the
also.
Khandagiri is in another corner of the city of Bhubaneswar.
Skandagiri.
Khandagiri.
Skandagiri and Dholagiri.
Dholagiri. उसके बाद और क्या है? That's all I know about Ashoka.
There is once upon a time in Tamil Nadu, Ashoka betel nut powder was very famous. Vasane Pathum. Betel nut and perfumed beautifully. And it was very famous and was selling 64 small packets for 1 rupee.
Oh.
It was famous. I even remember the registered name 1506 for the original article.
Regarding second, can I say something, Archana?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Second, regarding Pushpak Biman and all these things we are talking, na?
Yeah.
I think you please check it. Even Dr. APJ Kalam, in his book Wings of Fire, I think he has mentioned something like that when he visited NASA in USA on a government mission when he was a scientist with DRDO. He mentioned something like that. I'm not sure of it. Regarding that, he mentioned that when I visited NASA, there was a mention of regarding this Pushpaka Biman or something like from our famous epic from Mahabharata. Please check it. Ramayana. Please check it. I may be wrong because I have read that book long back, so I can't remember it exactly.
Anyway, Pushpak Viman is mentioned in Ramayana. No doubt about that. Only thing is, whether it was used by ordinary mortals like Ashoka or Rajaraja Chola. No. Rajaraja Chola and many other Tamil kings built great boats. They went through the sea to adjacent lands and conquered the race. There is Indian style temple in Angkor, whatever, wherever it is. I don't know. I'm not much good in geography anyway. But they crossed the trees. You just imagine they carried warring elephants in those boats to far off islands and fought their wars and came back. That is because the population was very small. It is possible to have an army of 200 and win over any land because there will be only 40 people living in an area. 20 people will be weak persons like me, non-fit to wage wars. So that should be easy. Those were the times. But Viman, no, I have not come across any mention about flying people or goods through air in any of our historical records.
We will try to find out this.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
come flying with flying
I've
colors.
given a good research point for everybody.
Yeah. You can post it in our group. So we all will try to find out.
We'll
Yeah.
find
Okay.
it.
I'll also search
Okay.
about these scriptures.
We'll do some
uh,
digging. Yeah.
Yeah.
On earth.
Yeah, and Suresh sir also mentioned about that book, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's book. So I'll
Yeah,
also try
Pritpak
to find
Viman,
out.
everybody would have mentioned.
Yeah, sure. It was nice discussion about Ashoka, which came to know about so many things. So next
Anyway.
book is about dealing with death. I'll soon post this book in our group, so we
Okay.
all can
Just
read it.
you
It is
can
not that.
post the name now again. You can
Sorry?
just message the name now.
Yeah. I'm going to post the PDF in the group.
You might take 2-3 days to post.
No. I have already with me. So I'll.
So please
Okay.
share it today itself.
Okay.
Yeah. Today only.
Why?
After.
You will be
It
finishing
was
today itself.
very good session. I have gathered lots of knowledge.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so
Good
much.
session,
Thank
good
you, everyone.
session.
Yeah.
Thank you
Raman
so
sir, you
much.
were saying something?
We gather and we discard knowledge so easily.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you so much. And we will try
Thank
to
you.
find out about this
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Vimana and
each one of you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Archana.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
thank you
Archana.
so much for joining in.
Nice spending time like this, you know.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
quality time we had. Yeah.
Thank
Archana,
you
So
so
much.
much. Yes.
Yeah.
At least
Archana,
our gray,
I
at
Yes,
want
least
to
yes.
ask
gray
something.
matter is left in our
No.
brain gets
Somebody has something to say. Let us.
Yeah. Shashi ma'am, yes.
Yes. Does it happen every week? This thing.
Every after 15 days. So because we want time to read the book, no? So that's why.
Okay. And what is the name? Please repeat the name of book and writer.
Ma'am, are you there in the group? I'll add you in the group.
No, I am not in the group.
Okay, I'll add you in the group and I'll send you the PDF file of the book.
Okay. Then all right. Thank you.
Dealing with the death.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dealing with it.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah, definitely sounds.
And it is very useful because everyone knows.
There's a small story there also.
Mhm.
Somebody
please.
said, I would
Mhm.
like to know in which town I'm going to die. And somebody said, well, what good is it going to do to you if you are going to die after all? Well, I will never visit the place.
Nobody would like to visit that place.
No. What he says is, if I am to die in Coimbatore, I will never in my life go to Coimbatore for anything, good or bad.
Anyway, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Raman.
Bye. Bye.
For your
Thank you
input.
very much.
Archana. Thank you all.
First thing, I will read the book Ashoka before I
please,
take up
sir.
the second book. I have read some books on death. We will speak about death, very live discussion on death. We will have.
Sure.